What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Xeno Films. This one's a little different. This is the first episode of my MR2 Build Edition video. I'll be talking about this MR2 that I've had since, January 4th, 2013. This has been a 5-year build. Now, I don't even know if you'd say build. This car has had so many ups and downs, it's ridiculous. But I'll kind of be doing a voiceover. I'll show you some pictures and a little video that I have of how I bought it, what it went through, where it's at now. So I hope you join me for this one. Definitely subscribe if you haven't. Things are going to get fun in the next couple weeks. I'm going to have a video every week about this car and the plans and what I'm going to do to it and all that. And hopefully you guys follow me along. Thank you. Alright, so I'm going to start by saying, I bought this car January 4th, 2013, so it's been a little over 5 years. And as you can see in these beginning pictures, these were the Craigslist ad pictures, and you can definitely tell it was rough. I mean, it had an ugly body kit on it. The interior was all spray painted as much as you could. However, the guy that owned it was definitely not a car guy. He just drove it just because the rear bumper was cracked and beat up, and it was a body kit. I didn't care. I was going to get rid of it anyways. But as you can see in this picture, this is how it looked during the day. And definitely not a fan of that kind of stuff. So I bought the car. I parked it for a long time. It actually stayed parked in my garage for, I want to say, about 6 to 7 months. And because my whole plan all along was to remove the body kit and bring it back to more of an OEM look. And so I kept looking on Craigslist for parts, and parts are very rare and very expensive for this car. You couldn't even find parts, honestly, and I was hoping to find in red, but then I got lucky. I found a whole nother car, and I bought a whole nother MR2, and guess what? In red. So as you can see here, I stripped mine. I took off the whole front end, the doors, and you can see I took off the clip off the other one. You can see that I left the fenders and the bumper connected to try to get it on as one piece. During that time, as I was looking for it, I found these wheels. I paid like $80 for these wheels. They were great. They were 17s. As you can tell, one of them needed to be spray painted. No big deal. I spray painted that. I also, during this install of all the red panels, I installed some BMW E46 turn signals on the fenders, as you can see here. Not everybody's taste, but I like them. I like how sleek and long they are. Kind of matches the look of the car. So after about it was 8 to 10 hour day. It was a long day, moving everything over, bolting everything down, and here's how she ended up being. And as you can tell, she looked a lot better on those wheels and all red matching paint, surprisingly. So and I drove it like this for a while. You know, the seat was still ripped and the interior still has some red in it, but it's getting better. I changed as many plastics as I could find from the other car to black ones. So anyways, as you can see, it looked pretty good. While I enjoyed it for a while, I drove it like this for, I want to say, another 6 to 7 months. So that's a year and a couple months into it now. And while I drove it, I started buying parts for it. I got some coilovers. I went with Kiddos. You can look them up, do the research. KIDOS. They're kind of a growing brand in the US. I was one of the first ones to try it on the MR2. I bought some full front and rear suspension polyurethane bushings. I mean, it has every little piece that I would need for my car, because I wanted to firm up the suspension. I bought some steering, end links and tie rod ends, and just suspension refresh parts. I bought some smoke corners for the front. I like the smoke look. I was kind of going for a red and a dark black lighting look. Also, I don't have pictures, but I got a bunch of LEDs for the interior and stuff like that for the speedometer. And anyways, so like I said, while I drove the car like that for about 6 to 7 months, and then I finally said, you know what? I found my dream wheels. They're Mustang Celine SC replicas. As you can see here, I threw them on the car just to test fit them before I started doing the work. I've wanted a set of these wheels ever since I got my MR2. I love the flat face, 5-spoke, nice lip, and found them local. Got them for a heck of a deal. I don't remember how much it was anymore, but $500 or $600 with tires or something like that. So anyways, then I finally threw the car up on jack stands, as you can see in this picture, and luckily I had a garage to work in. It definitely helps to not have to work in a driveway like before. But anyways, so I changed a lot of the suspension parts. I installed the coilovers. I did all new rotors and pads all around. I painted the rotors gold, as you can see here. I kind of like how that looks. And yeah, so then after I did all that, it was also another 8 or so hour day. I set her down, as you can see here, and kind of did a little test look, and I was in love all over again. I mean, from where this car was when I bought it to where it is today, or that day where it was, I was absolutely in love. It was a beautiful car. So here's a little video clip my buddy took of me that day, earlier that day anyways. We went for a little drive, and you can tell I have a lot of positive camber on those front wheels, which I fixed later on, alignment and all that. Man, was I happy to drive the car. Excuse the boy racer exhaust sound and little burnout I did, but hey, I was excited. Car looked great. So after that day, I cleaned it up and went and did a thorough photo shoot. As you can tell, I mean, it looked beautiful. It was wet outside, but anyways, I did a crux front lip. Had my wheels, my yellow fogs, my LED lights, HID headlights. I mean, it honestly just looked great. I was very happy at that moment. Then a little bit later, I installed some 93 or 94 and up style taillights, OEM legit auto pista rear spoiler, and then I did the center piece was a Tom's center garnish on top of the 91 panel cut on the corners to fit the taillights. I liked the look. It actually turned out really cool. And I spray painted the piece under or behind the grill red, so if you really paid attention, you could kind of see that it was red. It was pretty cool. So then I even managed to find one of these MR2 shirts that actually looked kind of like mine, so that was cool. Anyways, I thoroughly enjoyed this car. I took it to some shows, some drives. It wasn't no showstopper, but I loved it. Wife and kids loved it. We named it Little Red Riding Hood at one point, and they loved taking pictures in that thing. It was awesome. I just drove it. I enjoyed the car for what it was. Took it on drives, shows, dailied it, but then I kind of started getting sick of all the oil leaks, so threw it back in the garage and started dismantling stuff. Took off engine pieces, took off all the intercooler piping, engine lid, crossbars, blah blah blah. Bought that up with some jack stands, started unbolting stuff from underneath, and took everything down. I took everything, axles, engine, transmission, everything out. Unhooked it from that, and that's when it took a downturn. This is where it sat parked for about a year, or maybe a year and a half. Just sat here. Just sat with nobody to drive it. How could you be so heartless? So after it sat there for a year and a half, I kind of got sick of it. My motor was rebuilt. I put the car back in the garage, got my engine, started assembling everything. As you can see here, the valve cover powder coated gold. I like that look. Works with the red. The timing belt and all that. Threw it back in with the help of my father. Finally got it started. That's not where it ended. Got it running 500 miles down the road. My engine blows again. The guy I trusted to rebuild my engine didn't do a good job. Turbo might be gone as well. So I parked it again for another year and something. That's when it's been sitting since then, up till now. I sold the wheels off of it. I sold the front lip, a few other little things. It's at my. It's not even at my house anymore. It's at my dad's house, parked in his backyard. And I finally decided to get back on it. Gave myself a goal of finishing it for my birthday, which is July 2nd. My goal is to drive it on my birthday. I will make another video of all the plans I have for it. I bought a ton of parts for it during this time that has just been sitting there. I will kind of do a layout video of the plan, show you guys all the parts that I bought. But that's where it is. It's a pretty sad looking car at the moment, to be honest with you guys. It's still one red car though, so that's nice. But anyways, stay tuned. There'll be another video in a day or two about all the plans. I'll show you guys all the parts, what I plan to do, and I actually plan to start on the car this weekend. So definitely stay tuned. Like I said, subscribe. I know this video is a little long and boring, and I'm sorry, but got to do what I got to do to help you guys understand where I'm at with this car. So thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed that.